Right, so it happened, obviously, the Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis 2nd anniversary stream, and while there wasn't anything particularly mind-blowing as far as Remake Part 3, which we weren't really expecting, to be honest, there was a fair bit of information. So, let's just jump straight into it, like the video, subscribe for future content, but let's talk about the things that we learned during this anniversary stream. So the very first thing, straight out the gate, we have got Advent Children coming to Ever Crisis, seemingly in 2 days' time, on the 7th of September. It seems like we just start straight out of the gate with that. Now, one thing that I will say is that it doesn't look like it's going to be a full chaptered kind of thing. You know, like in the way FF7, OG, Crisis Core, and the First Soldier, you know, they're kind of broken up into chapters and episodes and things like that. This seems like it's just going to be an event. So this is going to be a limited time event. You complete the story, and once you've completed the story event that they're going to do, you gain access to Sephiroth. And it refers to him as original Sephiroth. He does have a little bit of an interesting moment at the end of the little video section for Sephiroth. He allegedly says, "No matter how many times, let's go back." So, you know, nothing suggestive about that line regarding anything that's going on in Final Fantasy VII Remake. No, nothing at all suggestive about anything like that. So, yeah, Advent Children as an event, which is a little bit disappointing. I think a lot of us were kind of hoping that we may get, you know, something a little bit more substantial. It seems like it's going to heavily involve Bahamut Sin and an encounter against Bahamut Sin, so that's going to be a big thing. Obviously, Sephiroth's going to end up involved as well. So, yeah, Advent Children is coming to Ever Crisis, but not in the form a lot of us were hoping it would. But we also get adult Sephiroth, original Sephiroth, to play if you complete the story. So, you know, 50-50, good, bad? 50-50, good, bad. Yeah, 50-50, good, bad. Moving on. Oh, actually, not moving on, because we also did get a little bit where Dirge of Cerberus was mentioned, and he's seemingly coming in early 2026. That's what they're hoping for, and yeah, like that's good to know. So we know when Advent Children's being added to Ever Crisis. We know roughly when Dirge of Cerberus is going to be added. If they don't get it in early 2026, it'll almost certainly be middle of 2026. So 2026, that's when we're getting Dirge. So we know about that. The only thing that we're kind of waiting for is Before Crisis, and I don't know how to feel about that. First off, it makes me feel like the Before Crisis narrative is not going to have any degree of impact or relevance on Final Fantasy VII Remake as a project overall. Maybe Dirge of Cerberus will. Advent Children definitely will. Crisis Core definitely will. Do you know what I mean? These are all kind of going to feed in. But Before Crisis, it probably doesn't. It probably doesn't. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it does. Now, it's probably the one that everyone wants the most, because none of us in the Western world got to play Before Crisis when it came out back in the day, because, you know, mobile only in Japan. So that kind of rules a lot of us out. And that means Before Crisis is definitely the one that everybody wants to get their hands on. So there's a lot of people that are disappointed that we've not had any Before Crisis news. It will come. I am certain it will come at some point. Anyway, now we move on. And the next thing that we got is, they've given us this roadmap, basically. So September, Advent Children, Sephiroth. October is when we get the First Soldier. And apparently we are getting the finale of Episode 2. So that story is going to be wrapped up for us. And we're also getting an additional chapter, seemingly, or special event story, or something like that, that's going to give us the details on what happened with Glenn, Matt, and Lucia after the events of... in Episode 2, we've seen a flashback where Sephiroth is with them, and they get split up, basically. Sephiroth gets sent off to do missions, and Glenn, Matt, and Lucia pretty much just get court-martialed and then run away. I think that's what happens. I can't remember properly. It's in the videos that I've done. But yeah, that's what happens, and we then get the follow-up to that and how they end up finding themselves, A, in Wutai, B, as part of the anti-Shinra movement on the planet, and C, associated with Rufus Shinra. So we're going to get a lot of answers out of this, and I'm very excited for it. October seems like it's going to be quite a big month. We're going to get the finale of the Masamune story, and we're going to get some context on Glenn, Matt and Lucia and how they've ended up where they are. So I'm very into that. It also means, as I was speculating in a previous video, that I'm pretty confident we'll be getting an episode 3 of The First Soldier before Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 comes out. They've got over a year to squeeze another episode in. So yeah, and maybe that'll be that Genesis episode we were talking about. Maybe Genesis is going to pop up. Maybe he doesn't pop up in the scenario that's going on with Angeal and Sephiroth and Masamune and all of that business. But if you remember at the end of episode 1, we finished all of the stuff involving Rosen and everything like that, and we then flash forwarded to an adult Sephiroth doing a mission, meeting Glenn, chatting to Glenn, you know, all of that sort of stuff. Maybe we get something like that where time flashes forwards again and we get to see Genesis and Sephiroth have some sort of interaction. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I'm reaching a little bit. But the one thing that I am very confident about is that we will get an episode 3 before Remake Part 3 comes out. I believe that completely now. I thought they were going to string out episode 2 for another 6 months maybe, and that's why I was a little bit doubtful. The fact that we're wrapping it up now, next month, I'm convinced. I'm convinced. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are we getting an episode 3? Is it going to focus on Genesis? That's kind of what I'm thinking. But anyway, moving on. The next thing that we get in November is a Final Fantasy 13 crossover, which I'm not massively excited about because 13... but it does suggest that maybe they're starting to think about Final Fantasy 13 a bit more, and maybe we'll see the game get ported to PlayStation 5 at long last. I know, it's a big reach, but it's the only game that's not been ported. Maybe this is them starting to test the waters of popularity and how worthwhile that financial investment will be. Maybe that's what's going on here. And then finally, in December, we've got a Nier crossover. So again, I'm not mega interested in that. It's not pertinent to the story of Final Fantasy VII Remake or anything like that, so I don't really care about it. But if you're into that and you want all the costumes, November and December are probably going to be pretty good months for you because you'll get all of the FF13 crossovers and you'll get all of the Nier crossovers, the costumes. So yeah, you'll do well. You'll do well. Anyway, Remake Part 3, we got the briefest of updates from Tetsu Noms. Tetsu Noms basically appeared as a voice from heaven, and what he said is, yeah, I heard about this rumour that, you know, we were going to have Remake Part 3 news for people around the 2nd anniversary of Ever Crisis. The news is that everything's going well. We've got our schedule in mind, so they know when they're going to start announcing things. They know when they're going to release, probably. You know, they've got all of that locked in now and know what they're going to do. So that's a positive thing. And that was it. You can't really talk about anything else. You know, we basically just have to be patient and wait because they've got it all in plan. They know when things are going. A lot of people have been speculating Tokyo Game Show or something like that, and I do think it's still possible, but at least we know that they've got their plans locked in at this point. They're completely locked in with their plans. They know what they're doing. So, yeah. Oh, and Kingdom Hearts 4 is also progressing as well, for those of you that are interested in that. So, yeah, Kingdom Hearts 4 as well. But Remake Part 3 stuff is happening at a steady pace, and hopefully we'll get some stuff soon. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything that we got in the Ever Crisis 2nd Anniversary event live stream thing. I don't think I've missed anything major. I'm not going to dive into the specifics of weapons or items or any of that business because I don't really care that much. It's all about the narrative stuff that's going to happen for me. So, Advent Children's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what they do with it. Anything surrounding original Sephiroth, adult Sephiroth, and that weird line that he's got where he's talking about no matter how many times it takes, we'll keep going back. That's very interesting given the context of Remake and Rebirth. And then also everything First Soldier related, super into it. Looking forward to the finale of the Masamune story and how that resolves, and looking forwards to a possible part 3. Definitely interested in this Matt, Glenn and Lucia context story as well, where we find out what happened to them after Shinra. So yeah, all round, if you're into the First Soldier, this has been brilliant. This has been amazing, and this is what I expected, to be fair. I had a feeling this is where the bulk of the the juiciness was going to be. I didn't think we'd get anything remake related. At best, we'd get the name, but we didn't even get that. So, yeah. Anyway, let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. Are you going to be playing it? Are you interested in the First Soldier story? How do you feel about Advent Children only being an event story rather than a full-fledged thing? Just give me your thoughts in the comments, like the video, subscribe for future content, but more importantly than all of that, have a great day.